Hey, everybody.
Howdy,
Uh,
howdy, howdy, howdy.
we are back after a brief little hiatus. We are back live. This is the Chet and Rad Thundercast brought to you
Oof,
by the Thunder, the Lightning, everything epic, everything that is
all the
amazing,
time.
everything that is awesome. I am Rad, and with me, as always, streaming live from the upgraded ThunderVision Studios,
Yes,
Mr. Chet.
sir.
Chet, how are you this afternoon on a Sunday?
Well, I am good. It is fantastic to see your beautiful face. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Uh,
Was thinking about getting some sun,
yeah.
but I decided that the only sun I need is the sunshine that comes from the shine and the smile and the amazing awesomeness that is Thunder Vision. So I was taking all the rays in, all the, that's all I need. That's all I need.
Oh, baby, I got you. We have got a fantastic, epic, epic episode today because we have been gone. There has been a lot of shit that has happened. We have got some news to go over. We've got some things to touch base on, what state of the business, where we're at, what you can expect, and much, much more.
Yeah, I am excited, to say the least. While we were on a brief hiatus, a couple things happened, and one in the world of gaming was through the month of October and just recently ended. There was a brand new game mode for Call of Duty Warzone, and that was a Haunting of Verdansk Zombie Royale, along with some interesting skins. Chad, I got to get your take, man, in playing through an interesting concept in the month of October into Halloween. What were your thoughts on the Haunting of Verdansk, the Zombie Royale?
Yeah, man. Here's the thing. So we were gonna try to stream. We're gonna try to stream a lot of that. But give me, you know what I realized. Give me 1 second, because I realized that that this is. eh, There we go. Look at that. Just gotta move that.
Well, it's like magic. It's like magic.
Yeah, this is real life, people. This is what happens. There we go. There it is. Oh, anyways, yeah. So I am really excited with what happened. I I think that the issue is that there's a lot of stuff that came out for Verdansk and just the zombie gameplay alone. So two things happened. If you live under a rock and don't play video games, they did the like trick or treat thing where you had to collect 16 items and you got that pumpkin smasher gun. But the other thing that I was more excited about was playing battle royale zombies. I think that my opinion, and it weighs a lot, but I just think that is a thing that should have been continued after the holidays because it was a lot of fun. It changed everything up. You would die, you'd stay a team, you become a zombie, you come back to life, you die, you stay a team, come back. And then it got intense because it's like if you were a human at towards the end, and then you died, you came back as a zombie, and then you had a chance to come back and win. I think that was great. What was your favorite part about the holiday thing? Like which ones did you like the most?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I didn't like: the chests with the spooky shit that came out of it. It almost made me shit my pants the initial couple hours that I played. That I didn't enjoy. Gave me a couple heart attacks with the headphones. Turned up pretty loud. But in general, I agree with you. The zombie royale mode was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I think a different dynamic. I gotta say the dark factor, like playing at night, is pretty interesting too. Took me a while to adjust, but I thought that was neat. I just like the zombie. I mean, the kills definitely increased a different element. I think it was unique, man. We talked about, in the month of September, we talked about is Warzone getting stale, and I think the general consensus was it was for the average player who's not playing tourneys. Like there wasn't a lot of new stuff that was being introduced, and then boom, this mode comes around, refreshes it, gives it some new energy, and then we are just a matter of a weeks away until the new Call of Duty comes out, and that's what I'm really excited about, is to see how Warzone, what take that has on Warzone. I did enjoy the multiplayer with Black Ops or Cold War, so I'm super stoked about that. So really exciting stuff. But I agree with you. If you're going to end it, and I get it, come up with something like, and maybe that's the reason why, end it. They're going to get into Cold War, but maybe for the holidays, like, towards Christmas time, maybe there's be something special that they do. But I thought it was a really cool concept, really cool mode.
Yeah.
And I think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
You know what else is really cool? Our intro. Did you want to see that? It's been a while.
Let's roll it. Multi-million-dollar intro.
Multi-million-dollar Thundercast. That's great.
Wow. Every time I see it, man.
Every time it's the only thing that's almost more epic than that. Well, it is more epic than that. Is Chris, what keeps you hydrated during a podcast?
A lot of things keep me hydrated, but
yeah,
I personally enjoy Liquid Death. I am drinking the mountain water. I always like to I always like to murder my thirst during the podcast.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's murdering my thirst during this podcast.
Looks like Liquid Death as well.
Yeah, this came off the Sparkling Mountains. Liquid Death will murder your thirst.
Not to be confused with Sparkle City, which is a
Sparkle City coming out in the Born Adventures of Marvin Chubbs. It's a mall. It's a place that has the mall. Yeah. But hey, we're also not opposed, So
hey, yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Another piece of news came out while we were away.
Yeah.
And that is the anticipated hype for Cyberpunk has been delayed again. But it's been delayed again. Again. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you think about the delays here? That's like the third time now.
Yeah, so we're like, is it 3 times? It's 3 times, huh?
Third time. 3 times.
Okay. I'm excited for it, but here is my problem with you postponing this shit another round. It had better be like one of the best fucking games that I have ever played, or else it's just gonna take a shit. Like I get it. I understood maybe like a week or two, but it's just, man, now it's into December, and then it's gonna be like cool. It's the thing that's a bummer, I think, is that everyone was hyped for it to get it close to, if not around the same time as the new consoles were coming out. And while that still makes sense and you can still get it around that same time, I just think that people were hoping to have it in their hands more. And so now what I think is going to happen is you have this massive hype for this fucking console. And then also on top of that, people were stoked to have, Cyberpunk show up and play that on their new consoles. And because it's not going to be there until like move into December or whatever, people are going to find other games, man. I think you're still going to have the hype, but I think that people are just going to, like, for instance, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think?
There's been so much hype in how cool it looks. I think regardless, people are going to play, but I do think there is a sense of what you said when you have new consoles and people are looking to play. What you don't want is for other games to take that away. So Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, will people put those games down to play Cyberpunk? Potentially, if Cyberpunk is what is leading us to believe to be one of the best open world games ever
Yeah.
created. So I think time will tell. I don't care. It's a couple of weeks, whatever. Some people just get crazy and, throw shit fit on social media. I think as long as, when the game is released, it's everything that we had hoped it to be, and that it's like almost bug free. We understand there's bugs even with the most of AAA titles, but it isn't like Avengers buggy. Then I think people are going to be okay with it. You know what I mean? But if it gets released and it's glitchy as shit, I think people are going to ask questions on why exactly it was delayed.
Yeah.
But I think we're still looking forward to it. Still looking forward to it. And I guess my biggest question would be: is it going to be a game that has a legacy where people play it for several years, or is it going to be one of those one and done? I play through my story, play through my character, and I put it down. Will it be a GTA, or will it be less than that? And that's, I think, where the verdict is out, because we don't know how it'll go.
Well, and I think I did GTA 5 is a beast, man. So like, it's Cyberpunk has like two different types of things that are coming out, right? It's solo play, and then they're gonna release a multiplayer function. So like, you still got time. You still got time before you gotta get there. You know what I mean? I hope that it fucking comes out and has the longevity of something close to GTA 5. I don't know, man.
Well, what's really exciting about it is that there is that unknown uncertainty piece, and I think there's going to be a ton of people that have high expectations, and we'll see how it plays out over the next couple weeks as we get closer to launch. And there might be some chat live streaming of GTA. I know that there have been some talks about a couple of new games and some old games too. So it looks like GTA might be part of that catalog. Am I right to say that? Teasing to the audience that Chet might be getting on some GTA?
Oh, it's. I mean, you're teasing the truth, my friend. We are Chet and Rad will be live on GTA 5. We're gonna create our own crew, the Headband Club, because why not? We're it's gonna happen, man. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I'm excited for it. I think it's for sure gonna be a lot of fun. Because it's like,
Yeah.
here's the thing, like, why deny the inevitability, man? That it's obviously got to be fun. People have been around playing it for how long now?
2013.
Yeah,
It's a long
like
time.
long time, man.
So in case you missed the channel, Chet came back with a bang and put together a stream content full of a couple of different games. But if you haven't checked it out on the channel, there is the first ever unbox series. And Chet, if you want to talk a little bit about being able to unbox the PS5 controller in anticipation of the brand new console coming out in the next couple
Are you
weeks.
talking about this?
There it is.
Are you talking about this thing?
Unboxed. Yeah, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah. So I think that I'm pretty stoked on it, man. The feel of the control is really comfortable. I love the color. I know a lot of people talk about the color, but it's like a very like dark grayish white. Super comfortable in my hands. Yeah, so unbox is our take over here at Thundervision. It's our take on unboxing. So we are going to unbox as many things as you want. It is the best way to unbox and the quickest. And we're hoping you really like it. But I will tell you that Apple has seemed to kick off a norm now where you can charge the same amount but not add the cables, and that fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, what's that
So
about?
yeah, I mean, I guess it's everyone doing their part for the environment, but you spend this controller was like $70 something, and is there a charging cable in the box? I'll let you guess. Rhymes with no.
Wow.
So that's a bummer and a half. But the control, man, I did you get your control yet, or did you not order a separate control?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, man, it's great. The unfortunate part is that it's not gonna. You can't really use a lot of the dual sense shit on PC, which I got this control for PC. Um, but it's comfortable.
I'm curious to know how it works with PC, not just the console. That's what I'm. How does it work? Because balance the time between PC gaming and console gaming. So I am curious about that. But aesthetics, man, it's one of the badass looking controllers I've seen in a long time, man. So I'm stoked about that.
Well, I think that controller is what got me to buy. It's honestly what got me to buy the system.
Hmm.
When the controller came out, I remember going like, "Oh yeah, this is something that I'm gonna need." And yeah, it is as exactly as comfortable as it looks. And that's where, like, when you think about it, the new systems are coming out, but it's like if we talk about what they look like and what they do, the only one that really innovated on the new systems is PlayStation.
Hmm.
I think that the Xbox Series X Extreme Turbo Edition is like they didn't really do much else. You have the controllers. It's black, but I think the system itself is just like a little tower. Nothing crazy there. They're both run by AMD, which is good. The AMD stock skyrocketed for that. But yeah, I mean, look, I just hope that this console launch, and it doesn't look like it, but obviously we'll unbox the PlayStation 5 when we get it. But this console launch, um, I'm hoping, and like I said, it doesn't look like it, but I'm hoping it's not like the last series of consoles, right? Like the Xbox One X, like it was bad. I mean, it was really bad. And PlayStation 4 Pro has been around for a while, right? So it was just kind of like
Hmm.
nothing crazy happened. We were like in the in between, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited to see where it goes. It really starts to get you to wonder, like, where are you gonna put your money? Are you putting it into console games? You gonna buy a PC game? Like, when do you buy the PC game versus the console games? And then it makes you question why you bought both consoles.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
So
you're a console collector, man. You got every
yeah,
damn console ever created. So I feel like regardless of how shitty it could be, you're just gonna have it.
yeah. No, that is correct. I
I,
do I do collect consoles.
I mean, I think you pretty much have almost every prototype of every console too. So,
Yeah,
but that's another podcast.
I keep that locked up in my basement.
um, so speaking of games, we were talking earlier today about what people are playing, and we came up with we did some interesting research, and we're pretty mind blown on some of the big titles, AAA titles versus some of these independents and stuff. And um, you know what's interesting is the the AAA titles that come out, people play them, and then a couple weeks later, a couple months later, they just drop off. We talked a little bit about Avengers,
Yeah.
which is sad because they've tried to lure an audience back with different promotional offers and giveaways, and that hasn't quite worked. Talked about this in previous podcasts, but what do you think the state of the state of the industry is with AAA titles and these independent games and these small Steam games. Like, what's your take, man? Like, why do you think there's just such a massive drop off of people after a couple of weeks of playing like these big release games? Avengers obviously is an example.
When you release I'll try to sum it up this way. When you release a AAA title that not only includes a Marvel franchise, but the Marvel franchise outside of X-Men, Avengers, it's like the Marvel franchise. I mean, everyone knows Avengers. And fucking Among Us blows your players, like your concurrent viewer player, whatever numbers out of the water, you fucked up. And I think that says a lot about the industry and where the industry is going in terms of to make a AAA title isn't just enough anymore, right? Like you have like 4 dudes in their basement programming a game that has like a ton of potential, and they for them it's like a make or break, right? Like they're like, we got to get this done. If we don't do it right, it's not going to work. So they put blood, sweat, and tears in it, and then you get people that develop things like Marvel Avengers, and they just don't pay attention to the audience. And I'm scared because that is typically what we're seeing now with a lot of these AAA titles, where it's just they're living off of their names, and unfortunately, kids are gonna fucking buy it, right? And it's just not fun. It's just not. It's not the type of game that you want to get involved in where you are going to consistently play it. Like, that's just not, I don't know. It's a bummer, you know? And I'm hoping that as we move forward into this new generation of consoles, that we see people putting efforts into actually developing proper AAA titles using the license properly. I think that Marvel Avengers, had they been on their roadmap to release characters that people gave a shit about, like no one really cares about Hawkeye. I mean, people know about Hawkeye. Very few people know about Hawkeye as a female, and most people just want to play the bigger like people from the Avengers. Like if on your roadmap your first DLC was like Doctor Strange, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not.
No,
I don't get it. I really don't, and I hope this is a lesson to be learned moving forward with these powerful franchise opportunities for games, that they choose carefully on what studios will develop these titles for future years to come. Because this is a clear example of a lot of hype, a lot of potential, a lot of possibility, and a game that seems at the almost dead. You know, like Warzone, when you're self-reviving, but someone's shooting you. That's kind of what Avengers is right now.
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost at the gulag. You know what I mean? That's Avengers is in a gulag right now. But we always talk about that partly because we. What'd you say?
What kind of gulag? Like
riot shield. Riot shield gulag.
Riot shield and snipers.
No, just a riot shield.
That's a riot shield gulag.
Pathetic.
Just 10 shield
10-minute gulag. 10-minute gulag.
Just slapping each other with a shield.
Oh man, so bad. But what are you gonna do, man? Hey, look, I'm excited. I love video games. Hopefully, the new games, new titles that are coming out, the consoles, they're all gonna be great. There's not all shit out there. We like talking about stuff that we like and what we haven't enjoyed, and that's part of the podcast. So we'll keep talking about stuff like that. But yeah, It's just unfortunate, really unfortunate. We'll see. We
Yeah.
will see.
No,
Um,
yeah.
what other games are you enjoying, man? I know that you took a little bit of a bit of a break, but is there anything else out there that you're looking forward to hopping into or have recently hopped into that you're enjoying?
Yeah. So a lot of the break was kind of just a reset and realignment of things that needed to get done for the domination of Thundervision, and as a collective creative group, um, I think that you and I tend to build a lot on board games, get a lot of things from our board games. So we've been spending a lot of time just talking through that. We got a lot of really awesome shit down the pipes, and we'll be getting closer to being able to like show that. And what's great is that we're building it on Tabletop Simulator, so we can actually play that and do that. In terms of games, dude, I downloaded this game a while ago and played it once or twice, but then was like kind of over the haunting of campers in Verdansk. So I decided to hit up Meeks and we started playing Minecraft Dungeons. Not gonna lie, that's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And because I'm so upset at Avengers and how it just became stale, I am creating my dungeon guy in Minecraft like Thor. And so right now I have a gravity hammer and I hit lightning everywhere. When I roll, it shoots lightning. So, just you gotta build them the way you want to build them. In terms of games that looking forward to. I mean, everything next gen console. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to. I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is probably one of my biggest ones. And I'm open to the idea, but really looking. I'm trying to dig into the independent indie games. I really want to find those. I think we need to spend a lot more time with those on Thundervision. For those of you that have been around for a while, you know that I love playing Hunt Down. It's a very good game. We haven't actually played that on our YouTube channel, so I will probably start playing a little bit of that. Maybe we can get Rad and I involved to play that. Broforce is another one. I know that these are all crazy things, but when you think about it, it's just the replayability factor that I like, and I think that's what I'm looking for, and hopefully the games come out and they start to have that shit. So what about you?
I just replayed Mafia that was remastered for PC, which was really fun. Cool story mode. So I like when a title is refreshed and adds new graphics, new dynamics that I really enjoyed years ago. So I love that. I think they should do more of that. I think about like games that I truly enjoyed over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
That I haven't played in a long time. Bring them back with new graphics, new energy, maybe some special features. So I'm hoping that they do that more and more. A game that I truly liked back in the day that they should probably do that is like Max Payne titles were pretty badass too. I like just the story mode, playability. So that's what I really enjoyed. I'm excited to get back into GTA a little bit. I think it's just a cool game, open world, do some fun shit. So Minecraft Dungeons I played on Switch for a good amount of time and then kind of took a break from it. So that might be a game
I
re-download on PC and get into it. But yeah, man, it's again, I think I'm just anticipating some of these new titles coming out in November, December, and early 2021. I'm excited about when Halo comes out too, because that'll be probably a very fun game to play too. So that's kind of what I'm about. But I mean, ultimately, I think we're balancing the time of producing content and streams with developing some really cool things on the side, and we as you said, getting things in order
Yeah.
I think we're something pretty big, another big brand or entity, if you will, that's going to allow us to focus on other projects. So more to come on that, but a lot of time devoting. And for those of you who are waiting, what's next, content wise, where's the stream? We're back at it. Chet's back at it, but at the end of the day, just know that we took some time. Just to take a little time away, but a lot of it was just getting a lot of shit done, and we're
Yeah.
excited to unleash and show off what we've got going on over the next couple months.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I fucking had a question that I need to ask. I don't remember. I just don't remember what it is.
Probably, how am I enjoying the Liquid Death mountain water? And the
Yeah.
answer is, I'm really enjoying it.
Keeps me hydrated as fuck.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to get your state of the business in terms of and we might as well talk about it. We do it, so there's a bit of a war right now, and it's like an unsaid war, and it revolves around like DMAC or DRMA or whatever the fuck that is, the Digital Rights Millennial Act, DRMA, whatever that was.
Run
Hydrate.
DMC.
Yeah, run. Yeah, there's a war on Run DMC, but I also, I wanted to get your take on what you thought of like streaming business as a whole, because I think, that there's a lot of people that talk about it. There's a lot of people that spend like hours upon hours streaming just to get those followers and those likes. And we actually had a really good offline conversation about it earlier, and I really want to bring that up here. It's been our first podcast in a while, so I figure we can go a little bit longer, just to kind of discuss some stuff that has actually come up. So what are your thoughts on the state of streaming, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I'm an expert in the business, or if we've got millions of followers or all that stuff. We're grinding it out and trying to produce as interesting content as possible, just like the millions of other creators out there. And I always appreciate anybody that's finding time to hustle and grind, and those who find success. More power to them on different platforms. So I just want to clear that out of the way, that there have been people before us that have paved the way for podcasts and content and streaming, and that's pretty badass. And I think we probably can count on one hand those people who have really like set the path for success for everyone else, where the industry looks to what's happening. Um, and the same could be said for any industry when it comes to like media. But if we're talking specifically about like streaming, like video game streaming, um, we know it's like super oversaturated. And I think the problem and there are a variety of different discussions that are being had online. But I think part of the biggest issue is that everyone is just so laser focused on the amount of time streaming, they forget about the quality of the content of streaming. And in today's world, where there's so many different options for streaming, for music, how many different freaking paid subscription services there are for like digital streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, every single channel, CBS, NBC has their own variations, HBO, all that stuff. Everyone is vying for time for somebody to get their eyes for just a couple of minutes. And if you know that not everyone is going to be a 12-year-old kid at home after school that can devote 6 hours of time in front of a TV screen watching a streamer.
Yeah.
Really what you're trying to identify is like, how can I create some really exciting content in a small window that either could be live or can be pre-recorded, or it could be content driven, like in YouTube, in Twitch, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That the quality of the content and the originality matters, in my opinion, most above all else. And I think people are getting caught up in live viewership as the measurement of success, when in reality, it's just general views. I'll use this as an example. WWE. Anybody that is into wrestling, I don't watch it very often. Used to be into wrestling a while back. Things have changed, but WWE now has created years ago their own paid subscription channel, WWE Network. Their ratings have dropped. If you compare WWE's ratings from the Stone Cold Rock, like the pinnacle of wrestling, to now, it's like
Attitude Era.
insanely different. It's
It's not
miles
even
and miles
touchable.
apart.
Not even
touchable,
touchable.
right?
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing: if you measured it just in that was just based on average viewers live.
Yes.
But WWE Network doesn't give a shit about average viewers live. They do in terms of like ads and so forth. But it's about just viewers in general. Viewers in general. That's the biggest, right? If the biggest thing is viewers. So if they watch later, if they watch live, it doesn't matter. They're watching. And I think the same thing when it comes to like these talk shows. Like I watch a thing where like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, right? And they're like, what are your ratings? And like, yeah, ratings are important, but what's even equally important is when they put these clips together of their shows on a nightly basis, upload them to YouTube, and those people then go on YouTube and watch them. They're making just as much money revenue avenue wise than they are when you're watching on ABC or NBC.
Yeah.
So apply that to streaming. If you're on Twitch, not bashing Twitch, it's a great platform. Watch a lot of streamers on there. But live viewers, that's fantastic. If you're averaging 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, that's wonderful. But what's more powerful than that is 200,000 collective views at any point in time on a YouTube channel. So that's what I'm thinking is, look, I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just my point of view. Focus on the overall viewership, and more importantly, focus on really fucking great content, not quantity of content. So that's my thoughts.
No, man. I think it's good. I'm with you on that, right? Like I think that there is this the thing that I guess I can explain the best is when you're on there's so much to fucking do on Twitch as a streamer, right? You can have interactions, different tier levels. You can have different emotes for different tier levels. You can have interactions on the games. Like it's very, very interactive, right? But as a host of the stream, that takes away from the reality of like what are you really doing this for? Are you doing it for content? Are you doing it for gaming? Are you doing it for like money? Like whatever it is, it's totally fine. Everyone has to have their own driving force. I get that. But to me, streaming on Twitch is like posting a fucking picture on Instagram and sitting on your phone and counting how many fucking people like it. Like, and then how many people do you get to comment? And it's like, versus if you go to anything else, and here's the other fucking thing about streaming is I do think that Twitch is like the purple monster. They have a lot of interaction. It's built around that. When it was Justin TV. Like there's so much stuff about Twitch that yes is a driving force to the gaming industry. That's it. But they're also the most looked at and like I don't know the right word for it. I guess nitpicked or whatever the hell that word is. But it always happens to Twitch first. And the issue is that like when you are streaming on Twitch, you might have a visibility factor. So you might get to this point where you have this like visibility factor of like they do like this, like you can find them, whatever, they put you on there. But someone once told me like, well, if you're gonna stream games, YouTube, you get buried in it, and it's not something that like you can get found very easily. But it's like, yes, but I'm not live streaming to get thousands of people to watch me live stream on my YouTube channel. I'm live streaming on my YouTube channel because I enjoy it. I'm a funny fucking guy. I think ThunderVision is probably the best thing out there on YouTube, and you know, we do everything that we can, and it's a place where we can put our creative juices out there, and it stays for you, right? Twitch, you have videos on demand. You're not allowed. This is where you have to really start verifying if you want to be what platform you want to be on. You know, Twitch, you can't post any of your live stream for 24 hours. So once you're done streaming, 24 hours from there, you can then cut it up and put it on YouTube. And if you violate that, it's not good. You also get shadow banned. And if you get a donation for $4, Twitch keeps $2 of that, and then you get $2 of that, and you get even less because then you get taxes. And it's like there's all, and then they get rid of fucking streamers to pay other people that just is like, cool, we get it, like you're really good at whatever else, but it's like you look at some of these top streamers on Twitch, and it's like why the fuck are you a top streamer on Twitch? And then you try to argue the fact that like if I'm just a small streamer and I stream Among Us before it blows up, then I'll get noticed. And it's like that's the fucking problem with Twitch. On top of the fact that Facebook and YouTube just give you all of your money for like any of the subs. So like that's a big thing if you're doing this for money, right? Like you get to a point, you build your YouTube channel up, you get everything going. The interaction piece of YouTube might not be the best. There's some things I wish they had better on YouTube. Like I could create highlight reels from within the video editor instead of downloading it and doing it and whatever. Like, but it's there, right? And a lot of people will say, well, YouTube tried it before with YouTube Gaming. It's like, well, no, they just put it out there. And while it wasn't the best and synced up with your YouTube channel, there's a lot of issues with that. But it also pushed forward Facebook Gaming, pushed forward Twitch. And I just think that YouTube makes you focus on the right thing, which is what you talked about, the watched hours. Not the live, but like, are people watching your content? You're creatively free to do it whatever you want on your content. You're only battling the algorithm. So like if you cuss in your videos, like it's probably not going to show up because it thinks that, you know what I mean? Like but at the end of the day, if you are a creator and someone that loves to create and loves to get things out there and then also game, and then gaming is what is kind of focused around it, yeah, man, I don't see a downside to being on YouTube. And that's being said as someone who moved this YouTube channel over, and we're only at what, fucking 38 subscribers. But I don't like, that's not something that I'm looking at every day. I'm just looking at like how many people were enjoying it, where are people dropping off, like what can I do better? And we're interactive. So during the podcast, like if there's topics you want to talk about, there's just so much more that you can do on YouTube, and it becomes a YouTube. If you do the YouTube channel right, it can quickly become a transition into like a TV channel. It's very doable, right? You have different segments, different things, podcasts you're talking about. You could bring on different people for different aspects of it, and you're not just related to like, oh, I'm on Twitch. Because just recently, Twitch started getting known for like you could go on and podcast. Like people weren't really thinking of it that way, and it's got this aura about it that Twitch is just a gaming thing, right? So that's why I really like YouTube. We have the ability. Colt Cannon has joined in the chat. Colt Cannon, welcome. Meeks is in the chat as well. But yeah, man, I think the state of streaming in the next 3 to 6 months is going to change drastically, and I just don't know. I don't really know what that is. I think there's a certain path, so a lot of my time off was kind of like looking into that and seeing like where it could go, right? Because right now, if you go tell someone, oh, I stream on X, Y, or Z, they say, how many followers do you have, right? So it's like,
yeah, I just say focus on the content. Obviously, getting people to subscribe is important. The numbers ultimately are important, but not as important is creating the content you like, you love, and that you pay attention to the people that are subscribed now. Um, and as you said, things will eventually evolve, and I'm just glad. I think we're in the right place where we can see it grow. Um, and I'm glad that we're back from a short little time away in the thick of things, ready to produce some pretty badass content.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good. We're gonna try out a bunch of different times for this podcast. I think we will eventually land on some kind of like schedule. But man, it feels good to see your gorgeous face. Have these conversations. Seeing people stop by is always awesome. I man, I don't know. The last topic I wanted to ask you about is, and it's just a question I'm going to pose to you, and this is solely just a question. If I could come, yeah, I'll come a bit. All right, so this is just a question. It's super simple. Why the fuck are digital games the same cost as regular games? And should they be different?
That's a great question. And I don't have the fucking slightest idea why they are the same price. I think it's probably due to the fact that they could get away with it
And
and
no
make
one
more,
cares.
and no one care, and make better margin on the digital.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think at the end of the day, that's probably what it is. I will say though, I like digital format a hell of a lot better. Because it's easier, it's more convenient.
Oh
You
yeah.
can
You
still
just
get
pick.
the same benefits. The
Yep.
only thing that I do miss is like the AAA titles and stuff when you like pre-order and you want the big ass bundle and you got some cool shit with it, like fucking helmet or box set. That was cool, and you can still get those at times, but like you got to roll into the local GameStop if you can find one, because a lot of them are going like out of business, especially through COVID. Unfortunately, you got to order them on Amazon or whatever. So like that part I missed. And quite honestly, I did also miss like the like playing it and then like selling it back to GameStop for like 10% of what I paid, but still it was kind of cool to pay for another game. But overall, digital's kind of is been the way, but I have no idea why they cost the same. Yeah, I don't know. Good question though.
It's weird, right? Like Cole Cannon said, I wonder if it's digital licensing versus being able to share the physical copy. Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, Xbox lets you, if you sign into family or you have different consoles, you can share the game that way. You just can't play them, right? Like PlayStation has that. I think that, I don't know, man. I think it's just a big fu until someone calls them out on it. So hey, PlayStation, Xbox, I'm calling you out on it. Why the fuck do you charge the same price for a digital copy, which doesn't cost you any more to make after you sold the literal first copy, as you're charging for the physical copies, which have a production cost? Because we all know you host on. I think we're getting dropped frames.
Yeah, I think we're upsetting some people in the industry, and they're trying to cut this channel short. I think we might get Dr. Disrespect right now, dude. So we better turn this shit off.
Yeah. Well, starting at okay. So how about it says Meek says we're good now. We're gonna try this. I want to do this after every pod or at the end of every podcast. But I want to leave it open if anyone has any questions. We talked about a lot of stuff. But if this shit drops out again, we're just gonna end it so that we could get ready for the stream a little bit later today. So
what do you mean later today, dude? We're fucking going live right after this, dude. We're getting on. I'm just wondering. We were gonna jump on some GTA, but I mean, I'm down to jump into some Verdansk if some of these guys in the chat want to get in. If not, I'm okay with GTA. Either way, man.
Dude, either way.
We could do some trios. We could do some quads.
Yeah, I mean, we'll also leave that up to you, chat. If you guys wanna go in and jump in and play some trios and quads, we will load up we will load up Call of Duty. Otherwise, we're gonna go on GTA and create the Headband Club on GTA Live. On So our first question is, what do you guys think of the next gen consoles? Rad.
Uh, cool. Um, Aesthetically, obviously, I think PS5 wins. Performance wise, I'm excited to play them. I think it's all going to be based on the content, the games,
Yep.
and how well those games perform with the new consoles. To be honest with you, but I honestly playing PC now, playing games on PC,
Change your
like
life.
yeah, I just think that when a full console player, the jump from PS3 to PS4 was fucking the great. It was awesome. PS4 to PS5, considering I have a PC and play PC games, I don't know if it's like significant. It's still cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's like been mind blowing yet. And maybe
Yeah.
that'll change if I play. Maybe on a new Xbox playing Halo, but I think PC changes a lot about consoles.
Yeah, man. Look, next gen consoles, I'm stoked on. These consoles are beefy under the hood, regardless of if you're a PlayStation or Xbox guy. They're beefy as shit. Um, the console longevity, I think we're going to see these for quite some time. And I'm excited because I think that it makes our exclusive titles that much better. So you put that much more time into them, make them that much better, and make me actually want to do it. Because at the end of the day, with Microsoft buying Bethesda and then Sony talking about buying WB Games, like you now have this battle to buy the best publisher there is to make them exclusive to your console, right? So I'm excited to see where it pushes the gaming industry. And yeah, we'll see. But I'm getting both, obviously, and we'll see what happens. We'll do maybe two more questions if we have that. Miko says, "What do you think about developers' choices to charge more for next gen consoles when PC has better graphic detail and frame rate, depending on your hardware? Also, do you think if gamers accept the $10 increase, we'll see games on PC and on Steam, etc., increase their price as well?" I think that ties in personally to the digital side of consoles, which is I think it's bullshit. It doesn't need to be $10 more. And where you see that it's bullshit is exactly what Sony did with fucking Spider-Man, where it's like if you already owned it, you couldn't also then upgrade and then get Miles Morales. You now have to buy the whole entire game all over again. I think that's complete shit. I think at some point in time, it becomes one of those things where it's like it just there. It's just for me. I think it's wrong. I'm gonna continue to buy them, even though I think it's wrong. But it's gonna make me think like 3 times before I buy a game on console when I know I could get it on my PC. That's my take on it. And I don't think that everyone's gonna sit back and be okay with the $10 increase. By the way, because if Cyberpunk comes out and it's shit, people are going to be upset about that, right? And then they're going to be like, "Well, I paid X amount more for PS5 when I could have saved $10 and got a shittier game." You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm a little weird about it. Rad, what are your thoughts on it?
I just think it goes back to you increase the prices, then I think people will be less likely to take a risk on a game, and that will ultimately hurt the gaming industry, for better or for worse. It'll be good for the industry in terms of people like you and I that enjoy games, where you won't have as many shit games hitting the market where you waste your money and go, God damn it.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it might also limit the amount of games that are available because these developers are not making their money back because people are less likely to purchase when it's $10 increase or whatever. So I think people are being more cognizant of that. That's why you see more free games on Steam and console games. you see on PlayStation Store or Xbox, Microsoft Store, you see, discounts. I think ultimately what you're going to see, and you already see it, is that everything is leaning towards subscription. And Xbox has it, PlayStation Semi has it. Ultimately, everything is going to be controlled through subscription service. The hard part is you have so many different studios that have their individual ones.
Yeah.
But I think if I could predict the future, there'll be probably one or two subscription-based video game digital services for PlayStation, for Xbox, and for PC, where you'll get most of the games, and they'll be less focused on like buying $50 AAA titles or $60 AAA titles. We're not
Yeah.
quite there yet, but it'll eventually get there, and then we'll all have to do it. It's they'll follow the TV industry, and that time will be coming very, very soon.
Like GameFly.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like,
It's
that
evolution of Netflix, right? It was like subscription to buy DVDs and CDs, and then it was like, okay, now we're gonna do subscription. Then Netflix had like their subscription base. Then they separated it for a little bit. Then they brought it back into one, and then now no one. I think you could still rent DVDs, but no one gives a shit, right? It's just like, oh, it's on Netflix. Like, I'm gonna go in and do it. And I think the reason why the industry is gonna be driven by subscription based gaming and the video and all the shit is it's really becoming that the arts, like gaming, music, whatever, is still somebody's talent that needs to be paid for. And subscription is like every time someone watches it, because you track it on the subscription, and then that person gets paid. We're in weird waters right now, especially from the streaming industry of people streaming video games. And then there's this idea behind, well, you can't stream something you don't own, and it's like, well, I bought the game. It's like, well, that doesn't constitute you owning it, right? So there's this really slippery water that can go down where I'm with you. I think it's going to be 2-3 studios running subscription base, and you just have to sign up for it because that's how the people are going to get paid. But if you think about that, if you're only paying on the other side of that, if you're only paying, like, let's say $15 a month for the subscription, but you get I don't know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, let's say, right? And you beat that game within a month, you only paid $15 for it. You didn't pay $70 for it, right? So I think there's pluses and minuses on both, but I don't know.
Mark my words, it will inevitably. I don't have a time frame. We'll get to that point.
Your words have been marked on the internet, my friend. They are here.
Less reliant on the $60, $70 price point, and more reliant on a subscription based. And what you may find in order for developers and studios to protect themselves for the exact moment that you said, and whoever the platform is that is running the service, like a la Apple Music or Spotify, where the music is there, they're making a profit, but then the licensing is going back to the the music company, and then the artist gets the last piece of that. It'll work in very similar fashion, but you may see that you have to sign up for an X amount versus just a month to month.
Yeah, I agree.
And it may be limited on the amount of download too, like the old GameFly's mail-in service. But somebody will try that first. They may not have all the titles locked in. Again, it exists. It's not like it doesn't exist. Game Pass, a variety of other different options. But I'm telling you, once you get like two of the big guns to like devote their time, and it's going to be a big company that does that, whether it be Amazon or Google, someone is going to get into that space. Wouldn't be surprised if Amazon dips their toes into that, considering they have Twitch, this massive platform, and what they could promise to these developers. Hey, get on board, give us the exclusive rights to an order subscription service, and we have the streamers that can make this game popular. It's coming. It's coming. So
Yep. If not already being done.
yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I think we are gonna take a little breaky poo and do some bio breaks and feed our faces a little bit. But we will jump back on to start streaming something in a little bit. Everyone, thank you for stopping by. You have been watching Thundercast Live with Chet and Rad. We will be here again next week. And if we feel like it, maybe even during the middle of the week, but we're not sure because we don't want to schedule, so don't worry about it. I am Chet Maddox. I appreciate you guys. It is great to fucking be back. It feels like home again. So we're going to continue. Rad, it's always a pleasure to stare at your face and wonder how you keep your beard looking so good.
Same, my friend. Same. Until next week.
Yeah, next week, my friends, we will see you guys.